Oh. Stupid. Are you ready? All right, here we go.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
Hi.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, do you have divine protection, and is ChatGPT ratting you out, and hilarious Google email response after being fired, and guess who's back in the big leagues? Well, sort of. All this and much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive, and for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you updated on social news and viral videos you might have missed over the last couple days, or we'll be talking about it in the upcoming few. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's all we care about, is that you're getting along as we are getting along with you as well. Now, there was a big series on Netflix. It was the Menendez Brothers series, and it was kind of like what they call a biopic, where they basically tell the story of the two people. So it was a real event, but it's scripted, sort of scripted type deal. And after this came out, there was a big rush for, hey, maybe they really did, actually they did kill their parents. There's no lying about it. But the reason behind it was so brought to the forefront. Now, when it actually happened back in '89, I was just a wee little lad, and I understood what was going on to that level of my age. I knew that someone killed their parents, and of course they went to jail, and I'm like, well, that's the right thing to do. You kill your parents and you go to jail. I didn't know the ins and outs as far as what they were going through in their life. And then when you saw that series on Netflix, a whole new generation has come around and said, well, let's look at this again. Let's bring them back in. Now, they've been in jail for the last 35 years or so, and now they've got an attorney that's hearing the people's cry, and they are going to be resentenced. And I say resentenced like there's a couple of articles that just came out, actually news reports that just came out actually this morning, last evening, and this morning as well. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. Just search DeaconLive Podcast. You can see this all in its real form and all the other accoutrements that go along with the podcast. So if there's any visual elements, you can see it over there as well. And this is one of those elements, and I'm going to switch over to make sure I got the right screen up. Don't want that one. I want this one. And I'm going to switch over to camera 4, and we can see this in real time. We can all be friends. So here we go. This is what happened last night, 5 p.m. last night from local Fox, I believe out in California somewhere. So here we go.
We have breaking news from just the last few moments. A judge has just ruled that the Menendez brothers will be resentenced. This just breaking in Van Nuys courtroom. Good evening. Welcome to Fox 11 News at 5 o'clock. Simulcast on Fox 11 and Fox 11 Plus. I'm Alex Michelson.
And I'm Christine Devine.
Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez has been
Thanks for joining us.
Courtroom all day. She just ran out of there with this breaking news. Christina, what just happened?
Fox 11.
Judge Michael Jessic has agreed to resentencing the brothers. When I left just now, the brothers were getting ready to speak to him because they have to now make their point. The judge is leaning to resentencing them 50 years to life, which means they have to go in front of the parole board. What the brothers are trying to convince him is to give them manslaughter so that they would not have to go in front of that parole board. That is what's going on right now as I am down here.
Okay, so that was last night. Let me switch back to me now. So that was last night. And so they want to get it knocked down to manslaughter, meaning, I don't know if it's time served. I guess she's saying that, if they do get resentenced, it'll be 50 years to life. And I'm not sure what they were actually sentenced on right now. But here's a California judge right now. Well, actually, this is from ABC News, Lindsay Davis, about the quick ruling. This, what happened not even, a couple hours ago. So here we go.
And joining us now for more on that is civil rights attorney, legal analyst Ariva Martin. Ariva, give us a sense of the judge's decision. Is this the expected outcome?
This is a stunning turn of events in a case that's had a lot of twists and turns. We know the former district attorney, Gascon, wanted there to be resentencing. He believed that the brothers had rehabilitated themselves and that they had served enough time. Then comes in a new district attorney who says, no, they have not admitted to the crimes that they committed and they continue to lie. So this is a huge victory for these brothers. It means that they now will have an opportunity to go before a parole board and perhaps be freed after 35 years of incarceration. And there's also that clemency hearing that's coming up in June as well. So we shouldn't forget about that. So they're going to get potentially 2 bites at the apple, but it probably means they're going to walk out.
Oh, so damn commercials. Hold on.
Try us now. Special sample proofs, free worldwide shipping.
Here we go.
Fast turnaround.
Out of those prisons where they've been held now for over 3 decades.
And how much do you think it helped their case that they had family members who were supporting them for years?
Yes, a huge part of, I think, this decision, not only family members, but a former judge testified that he now believes in rehabilitation because of what he saw they did in prison. A former inmate who said that he would not have been the man that he is today, but for the help he received from the Menendez brothers. Apparently, they set up some kind of programs while incarcerated for the elderly and for disabled inmates. So according to Mark Garagos, their powerhouse lawyer, they were model prisoners and that this was well overdue.
And we heard from Matt Gutman that they did read statements where they acknowledge missteps, lies, regret, remorse. How significant was that?
Well, you know, Lindsay, that's what the new prosecutor said he wanted them to do all along, was just to admit that they lied about the murders. And apparently during these very powerful and persuasive statements, they made every concession that the district attorney wanted them to make. And I'm sure that also is going to be very powerful when they get to the parole board. The judge had already decided that he was going to resentence them, and I'm sure the lawyer counseled them, you know, this is it. Put it all on the line. Just, you know, come clean because this is your opportunity to be free.
Last fall, there were some family members who thought they might be home in time for Thanksgiving. Of course, that didn't happen. But do you think that it's possible that they could be home by this Thanksgiving?
Oh, that seems very probable. Like I said, that clemency hearing is already set for June. We don't know when the parole hearing that will come as a result of the resentencing will be, but it's very probable. That
all right, so there you go. Thank you very much, Dare. Good job. So, go back to me now. So what they're saying is, they said, all we wanted you to do, hey, we know you did it. Just tell us that you did it. And they're like, you know, over the years, no, we didn't do it. And then finally they said, you know what, we did. We lied about a couple things. We didn't do this. We exaggerated this. And yes, we did kill our parents. But in the aspect of, you know, we were being abused, sexually abused. And if you want to believe that story, if you want to believe the whole entire Netflix series, it's a great series. Go watch it. I don't want to say it's a fun watch because you know what happens, but it's just weird how their lifestyle after the parents died was just really, really not normal. But so I guess they are going to be a hearing here soon. They're getting their trial reheard. They're going to go through and maybe they'll knock it down to manslaughter. And then they're going to be out by this Thanksgiving. So, and then they, you know, did all this stuff inside jail. You know, they were rehabilitated and, you know, did all these different programs. So I'd like to hear what you have to think about this. What's your opinion? Should they be let out? Yes, they did kill someone. Yes, they, you know, cold-blooded. They went back in and they reshot them again. You know, the parents, watch the series. It goes all in this. I'm not telling you something that's not in the series already. But what's your opinion on that? I'd love to hear from you. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. At the top of the page says, Be Heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live. You hit click, listen back, and then send. You can be anonymous if you want. And we broadcast every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get yours in now. If you don't get it on this show, you can get it on the next show. And don't forget, we have a history of shows over, I think, 11 years now we've been doing the show. So you can comment on anything on any show at any given time. All right, guys, when we come back, guess who's going back in the Hall of Fame? Yep, they decided right now. But I have some opinions about it. So I'll give you my opinions, which is worth about a hill of beans. But you tell me. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your opinion about anything that we do here on the show. And we can do Ask Me Anything if you want as well. And the way you can get your voice heard, you can be podcast famous. Just go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says, Be Heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live. If you've got a microphone on your device, whatever device you're listening to us on or at, speak right into it. You can be anonymous. It does want an email just to make sure that you're not a robot. And ask us anything that you'd like or talk about anything that we've talked about over the last 11 years. Now, if you go back some shows ago and you have a question about that show, give me the title of the episode and I'll go back and listen to it. Hey, what did you mean by this? Or you were wrong on this, which 9 times out of 10 is wrong. But if you want to correct me on something, that's fine. The way you do that is go over to prophetradio.com and be heard. Now, back in 1919, I was just a wee little lad. No, Shoeless Joe Jackson and 7 others were acquitted. They were charged. They played for the Chicago White Sox. They were charged with fixing the World Series and that World Series back then. And they were acquitted and stuff, but the commissioner said, no, sorry, you were too close. It's too close. You're not getting in the Hall of Fame. Now, fast forward to our modern day baseball time, and I say modern day, back in the 70s and 80s, there was a gentleman by the name of Pete Rose, and he perfected or invented, I don't know if he invented it, but the forward slide, like the head first slides. Hey, everyone, do the Pete Rose. When I play baseball and stuff, that's what they did. You slid in head first. And he was convicted of gambling on his team as a manager, not as a player, as a manager. He was a manager of the Cincinnati Reds, and he was convicted of gambling on his team or against his team or for his team and so on and so forth. So they found out about that, and they kicked him out of baseball. I say kicked him out of baseball. He was not eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, of course, I say of course like everyone knows, but he has passed away, and here's what they have to say just this recently. When was this? I don't know, a couple days ago. So here we go. Oh, let me switch over to camera 4 here so you can see this on the podcast or on the video podcast as well. So here we go.
Reinstating the late Pete Rose after being kicked out for betting on games, including his own team. What he once told our Charlie Gibson and what this now means when it comes to the Hall of Fame. Here's Will Reeve.
He was banned from the game for life. But tonight, in an historic decision, Major League Baseball reinstating all-time hits leader Pete Rose. Rose, who died last year, was barred from the sport in 1989 after an investigation found that he had bet on games as the manager of the Cincinnati Reds. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred saying, obviously a person no longer with us cannot represent a threat to the integrity of the game.
Remember that.
Rookie of the Year, MVP, and 3-time World Series champion denied the allegations for years before opening up to ABC's Charlie Gibson.
Did you bet on baseball? Yes, I did, and that was my mistake, not coming clean a lot earlier.
The scandal has kept him from being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame. Today's move now makes him eligible for election. The Hall of Fame saying in a statement, the decision to remove deceased individuals from the permanently ineligible list will allow for the Hall of Fame candidacy of such individuals to now be considered. Fans of the Reds celebrating the news.
He built the Reds. This is his ballpark.
Now, David, this ruling doesn't just put Rose into the Hall of Fame.
My name's
He
not
still
David.
need to get approval from a baseball committee, and the earliest he could enter the Hall would be in 2028. David?
Really major development tonight.
So 2028, let me just go back to me now. So they say, okay, he's off not the no-fly list, the no-eligible list. And he's eligible now to be in the Hall of Fame. He still has to be voted in, but for the longest time, and Shoeless Joe Jackson as well, has been taken off that naughty list, the baseball naughty list. And I have problems with this. So Shoeless Joe Jackson was back in 1919. There's nothing we can do. That was before a lot of our times, before my grandfather's times. And then you got Pete Rose. And for the most part, someone that you know, mother, father, cousin, neighbor, someone like that, lived through the time that Pete Rose was in baseball. And you know that he's been fighting and fighting and fighting. And now that he's dead, let's go ahead and bring him in. That is so wrong. Why can't you do it and have him not go to his deathbed knowing that, I'm sure it weighs on him every day. Every day, Pete Rose is not looked at as a, Hall of Fame baseball player, even though his stats and numbers and all that stuff. I think that's wrong to do that after he's dead. Oh, he's dead? Are you sure he's dead? Okay, all right. Let's go and put him in now. Let's go and put him in the roster and see what happens. Couldn't you have done something a little bit more and say, hey, let's put him in there before he dies? Or not put him in at all. I mean, do one or the other. Don't do it like after he dies. It says, well, he can't defend himself anymore. So what the fuck? Let's just throw him in there. No, it's either stick to your rules, stick to your laws, stick to your judgment, or don't do it at all. As we talk about letting the Menendez brothers out in the same breath, right? Oh, well. Now, this right here I've never heard of before. I have had a lot of friends that have died from drug addictions. I know a lot of people that have been addicted to drugs, used drugs. We all know people that have done drugs, but I've never heard of this syndrome. And this syndrome is called the drop head syndrome. Now I'm gonna switch over to camera 4 real quick so you can see this. Look at this guy's head. His ear is literally on his shoulder and down on his chin. It's weird. It looked like someone took his neck and pulled it out and then laid it over like it was too long or something for his body. So here we go. A man suffers a rare dropped head syndrome caused by addiction. The man who struggled through years of substance abuse developed a terrifying condition known as dropped head syndrome. A 23-year-old who has not yet been named was pictured by doctors in Iran who captured the alarming state of his neck, which no longer could support his head after what they believe of several years of substance abuse. He was left with extreme bend in his neck after regularly taking a dangerous combination of different drugs, with medics report that he used amphetamine, also known as speed, boys and girls, triggered a kyphonic neck position where his chin would fall into his chest for long periods of time. While you would normally expect serious neck trauma to lead to a situation as scary as this, as we've seen with this case in cases of internal decapitations in the past, where basically your skin's still attached but your head's not attached to your body. It's kind of like it's a rubber sleeve just holding all the guts inside. Ooh. Where did I leave? It seems that the young man's health issues arose entirely from his abuse of Class A drug heroin, as well as opium and speed. Doctors found that prior to his history of drug abuse, there was nothing to suggest that his severe neck misalignment would occur. Dr. Madrid Rezvani, co-author of the study, said, "We discovered the drug abuse contributed to the uncommon development of severe complications, cervical synopsis, syphosis, I'm going with that, excessive rounding of the upper back." Oh, I know a bunch of kids right there that have the excessive rounding of upper back, looking down at their phone. The drug does not have a direct effect on the musculoskeletal changes, he explains. Instead, its indirectly affect when the patient uses drugs, they remain in a certain position for a long time, over months, that results in the musculoskeletal changes that leads to this bending neck syndrome. So, and like I said, I made a joke about kids, looking down at their phones. I have seen men right now, and it's mostly men that I'm seeing, not like on a personal level, but I mean men that I'm seeing walking around. And I say men, guys in their 30s. And, well, they're men, I know. But, you beg different neck hair guy, neck beard guy or whatever they call him. They've got this slouched, like their chest is caved in, and their arms are kind of, if you're watching this here on the YouTube video, and their arms are flared out. Let me grab my phone. And their arms are flared out, and they're doing this, and their head is down. And they put the phone down, and they're still in that same position. So the neck position that they have is basically because, when you're on drugs and stuff, you just kind of, my neck's too fat to go over like that. I would have no problem. All right, when we come back, this guy who used to box kangaroos died. They got the last laugh, I guess, right out of our own backyard here in South Carolina. So stick around. I'll dive in that story when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook. Yes, our Facebook is up and running. It's live, baby. It's live. jump on over there. It's not creeping up as quickly as I want it to, but then again, I haven't put a whole lot of effort into it. Now, I do post the stories that you hear on the Deacon Live show. I do post them over there in full-fledged, because a lot of times people don't want to go to YouTube and watch the whole entire video. And when they're listening to us, when they're out working or they're out walking or they're working out or outside doing nature stuff, they listen to the podcast and then they can just take some time and scroll through their Facebook page and you can see the actual stories that we talk about here on the air. So like us, give us a little follow over on the Facebook page. That's just Deacon Live, all one word, over on Facebook. And you'll see some of these articles I'll post over there as well. Now, I have, in my whole entire life, I think I was fired from one job, just one job. And I think it was, it's one of those quiet quitting before quiet quitting was a thing where you just like, oh, I don't fucking feel like doing this. And they basically said, hey, come in the office. Yeah, what do you want? You're fired. Oh, really? I quit 3 weeks ago. You guys just didn't know it, type deal. Now, this woman right here with AI and stuff and all the like Chat GPT and all the things that AI automatically fills in and stuff. Who says losing a job is uncertainty, and the uncertainty that comes along with it is easy to face? The sudden loss of financial stability makes it even the strongest people feel helpless. While many people find themselves stuck in a loop of self-doubt and identity crisis, others immediately prepare themselves to rebuild their future from scratch. However, in the midst of decisions and anticipation of the future, only a few learn to adapt, turning to grief, opportunities, and setbacks into comebacks. Julia Gallick on TikTok is one tough woman who surprisingly turned her most vulnerable situation into a rib-tickling memory, proving that good laughter can solve every problem. Now, in May 2025, that's this month right here, Julia received an official email from her employer saying that she was being laid off due to budget cuts. At that moment, disappointment took a back seat as something else in particular had Julia and everyone else on the internet in stitches. The response to the layoff email, Google's smart reply feature in the Gmail came up with 3 unexpected witty responses. Ugh was one of them. Thank you for letting me know, and no problem. Julia zoomed into the ugh option as she struggled to suppress her laugh, but was like, should I just send it? She wrote in captions, asking that she could actually go ahead with the quirky auto response. I would say, hell yeah. I would say, do it. What are they going to do? Fire you again? 2 times they'll fire you. She's quoted by saying, I thought it was funny because I was expecting to see other suggestions, but not ugh. It was exactly what I was thinking too. I wish I could have sent that, but chose to stay professional instead. Julia shared with Newsweek, with every changing market scenarios, layoff unfortunately has become increasingly common across different industries. As per a shocking report on the Crunchbase Daily Tally, around 95,000 workers in the U.S.-based companies have lost their job in 2024. So the hilarious TikTok video went viral, receiving an overwhelming response of social media, leaving netizens. Is that netizens? People on the internet, or are they called netizens? In stitches. Meanwhile, reacting to Julia's video, Miss Clarissa revealed, when I gave notice to leave my job, I made it my second job to respond with the most unhinged reaction emojis to every email. And then so on and so forth. So where is her video? Let's see. Do we have her video? It's got to be here somewhere if they're talking about it. Let's see. I'm going to switch cameras here as soon as I find her video. This is it. All right. I got you. So let's go. There's probably going to be music or something I'm going to get flagged for. So here we go. Ugh. So let's play it again. Here we go. And the caption says, I just got laid off because of budget restraints. And this is what Google suggested I should respond with. Ugh. Ugh. That's it. How many thousands and millions of views? Oh, my God. She has gotten millions and millions of views on this. Now, if I was a company out there that was pretty lighthearted and saw that, I would go, you know what did you do? I'll pay you. Come on over. We got room for you over here. And hired her right on the spot. That would be the right thing to do. If you're a company out there looking for someone, and at least you can tell she's got somewhat of a humor about herself about that. So I would hire her right away. I don't know what her job is. They didn't say. But anyways, this guy, his job was boxing kangaroos in South Carolina at a petting zoo. This gentleman by the name of Eric Slate in South Carolina was found dead, though, in a petting zoo. His body was found in one of the cages. Slate has said to have been in the habit of going to Australia's animal enclosure at the roughhousing with it. The petting zoo belongs to his brother, Robert. According to the Horry County Coroner's Office, Eric's body was discovered at the facility late Friday night at Five Star Farm near Loris, Loris, which is about 30 miles from Myrtle Beach. The New York Post report says Slate 52 had a history of stepping into the kangaroo enclosure and roughhousing with it, which is what was happening at the time of his death. Local council member Mark Chauncey told News 13. Slate was found with multiple blunt force injuries, but not clear if the kangaroo killed him, if any. So here's a video of him roughhousing with the, switch back to camera 4. Oh, I'm at camera 4. Sorry. Camera 4, let's see what he says.
Did this kangaroo just kill a man?
Calm down, calm down.
That's the mystery after the 52-year-old man was found dead in the kangaroo enclosure at a petting zoo in South Carolina.
With your back feet, you gotta watch.
Eric Slate can be seen in this exclusive video, roughhousing with a kangaroo. The video was recorded just 10 days ago. On Friday, Slate was apparently beaten to death by the kangaroo named Jack when he entered the enclosure. Authorities say Slate suffered multiple blunt injuries. An autopsy is pending. Slate's brother runs the petting zoo, and Eric has a history of going at it with the kangaroos.
I'm not wrestling you. Wait, that means no. We learned that lesson yesterday. You won.
Kangaroos are incredibly powerful, not with their front feet, but with their hind legs. If it gets threatened, it is something that can be very, very dangerous to any human being.
I spoke to the dead man's brother, Robert Slade. Do you think the kangaroo killed your brother?
Yes.
No, I do not.
Yes.
He says his brother had recently been complaining of chest pain. What do you think happened?
We're waiting on the autopsy to come back. At some point, the kangaroo did scratch him. I'm not denying that. But I don't feel that the kangaroo is the main cause of it.
I think he is. All right, let's go back to me now. So listen to me. If you're watching this video and you're watching the kangaroo puts its tail on the ground almost like a kickstand, and he'll lean on that tail and pick his feet up. Now, if you've ever seen a kangaroo attack with their hind legs, they've got talons, for the lack of a better term, and they're designed to gut something in front of them. Like they'll pick their feet up and either punch kick them like a thrust, or they'll sit there and their talon will cut the chest open of the guy. They said he had scratches on him, so that meant that the legs of the kangaroo probably popped him in the chest a couple times. Now, he said that the report said that Eric had some chest pains earlier. Maybe a couple thumps on the chest knocked it around and clogged an artery, and he ended up dead with a heart attack. So did the kangaroo kill him? Not technically. Eric was on his way out anyways, but fucking around with a kangaroo, man, come on. I know it's all for show and all that stuff, but yeah, he learned his lessons. He's dead now because of the kangaroo. He didn't want to say the kangaroo killed him because they would have taken the kangaroo away. They would have, and then where's his petting zoo? They're gonna just shut him down. That's all I got out here in Loris, South Carolina. All right, when we come back, do you have a puff or a pit under your arm? And I'll dive into that as well. And the latest meme about redheaded people, what they're calling them, and it's a box of, is it a box of worm or a can of worms? What is it? It's a can of worms. So we're going to dive into that can of worms when we come back. So stick around. You listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we'll give you something for free. But what you got to do to get it is go over to prophetradio.com. At the top of the page says free swag. A little drop-down menu. You can see all the fine programming that comes out of the studio. Pick yourself out a little prize pack. They'll send it out to you if you live here in the United States. If you live overseas, unfortunately, Trump's going to put a tariff on it if I send it out to you. So I'm kidding. Am I? I don't know how the mail works right now going overseas. But if you're overseas, it might take a little bit to get to you. But here in the United States, pick yourself something out, and we'll send it out to you right away. Just a way of Prophet Radio saying thank you for being part of the program and enjoying all the fine programming that comes out of the studio. Now, a doctor has issued a warning with a puff instead of a pit under your armpits. All right, here we go. It's the little things that matter, right? Following a viral warning that everyone has a puff pit could be suffering from some serious health issue, a doctor has spoken out about to clear things up. So if you're watching this here on the video, do I have a pop? Oh, I got the switch to make sure I'm on the camera right. Do I have a puff or a pop? I can't tell. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's right. The reason, well, I'm getting sidetracked here. When I had that infection in my hand when I was on the cruise, the doctor had to check my lymph nodes up underneath my arms. If you got a puff or a pit, maybe that's what they're talking about. Let's dive a little bit more. TikTok has recently become full of people offering close-up views of their armpits, comparing the concave pits hollowed when you raise your arm or the pits that have more puffy appearance. Dozens of content creators have warned that you should have a pit and not a puff. And it could be a sign that you need to go see a doctor right away. Not right away, I threw that in there. But now Dr. Claire Merrifield, general practitioner and medical director at Self, S-E-L-P-H, Self, has said that a majority of cases in this is simple, normal body anatomy, although there are a few telltale signs that something could be going wrong. Why are armpits so puffy? Dr. Merrifield said that for most people, a puffy armpit is just normal breast tissue or normal body fat distribution, although it could be a sign of an underlying health condition. Confused as to why breast tissue would be in your armpit, Dr. Merrifield explained that breasts are actually not perfectly rounded. What? Says the 15-year-old boy. Instead, shaped like a comma, with the tail angled toward the armpit. She continued to say the tail is called an extriale, another word for armpit, or armpit breast tissue. Some people have more of this than others, and it may appear that you have a puffy armpit. But when you raise your arm, there's still a concave hollow bordered by some of your arm muscles. This fatty tissue under your arm should be included in your regular checks for lumps in your breast, ladies. Dr. Merrifield also says that you should ignore influences advice on lymphatic drainage technique, which helps the appearance of puffy armpits. She said it would be extremely rare for a healthy person who hasn't had a lymph node removed to experience swelling due to lymphatic fluid. It would usually indicate an underlying health concern. How can you tell if your puffy armpits are a sign of an underlying health conditions? On rare occasions, a puffy armpit should be a sign of an enlarged lymph node related to infection, inflammatory, or cancer. Oh, great. Throw that last one in there. Don't panic. This is don't panic though, as this will feel totally different to a normal puffy armpit. So you should be able to check it. Dr. Merrifield says that lymph nodes tend to be quite firm, so won't feel like fat or fluid. More like a small ball underneath the surface of the skin. In some cases, the puffy armpit could also mean a benign fatty tumor called a lymphoma, but against this is easy to spot as it only tends to appear on one side. So if you're like on your arm, you're like feeling, you're like, oh my God, do I have it? No, yeah, I got a pair of them. So everything's good. If you notice a significant change in the size of the shape of the armpit or feel firm swelling and pain asymmetrically, or notice that skin looks abnormal over the armpit, it is vital that you speak with your general practitioner as soon as possible. So there you go. Check your armpits, ladies, men, boys, and girls, to see if you got problems. I know that, yeah, that was one of the things when I had I was getting my infection in my hand. I saw this red line. If you're watching this on the video here, I had this red line. It stopped right here at my elbow, my reverse elbow, my inner elbow. It stopped right here, and the nurse or the doctor reached up under my arm and was squeezing around. No, and she was German. She's like, no, everything's good. You're good. It hasn't gotten there so far, but we need to treat it so early. Oh, squeeze it. It's like a little present. I wish I had a camera for that. What a scene. Now, what's a scene right now on TikTok? There's a new trend that's going around, a new meme that says that gingers are the black people of the white people. Does that make any sense? This is not a joke. A new trend has dubbed that gingers are black, is drawing comparison between the microaggression faced by redheads to the everyday lived experiences of black America. First of all, there's so many things wrong with that statement, but let's dive a little bit more into the story. Sparking mixed reactions online. While the phrase can be a tongue-in-cheek way to highlight the social bias against redheads, it also has evolved as a meme-driven discussion about visibility and cultural treatments based on appearance. I agree with that. The viral TikTok phrase, gingers are black, began as an ironic way of discussing society's treatment of redheads. Content creators use the trend to spotlight common experiences that echo microaggressions often aimed at black people. For example, many redheads note how strangers feel entitled to comment on their red hair as compared to other redheads that they know. All right. Which has an experience familiar and many which has an experience familiar to many black people. Some videos also point out that white people often try to touch red hair as some do with black hair. let me touch that over there. Oh, Grady, you feel good. Despite repeated calls for body autonomy. Autonomy? Yeah, we'll go with that. This parallel has resonated widely through folks participating in this trend, recognizing the different stakes involved. One TikToker, a ginger one, evenly cheekily pointed out that redhead characters are reimagined in modern adaptations. They're often played by black women. Redhead speaks out about the subtle bias. The comparisons have encouraged some redheads to share their personal stories about subtle biases and awkward social interactions. A few noted that they often get asked what country are they from, and a question also commonly posted to black Americans and other people of color. So let's see. Here's a little TikTok video. It's probably going to sum everything up or just piss everyone off in the meantime. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here. So here we go. This is Chaotically Relatively Ginger. Now, you got to come up with better names if you want to go viral. I've said this a million times, so here we go.
It is frustrating that most of my life has been a lie, but I do want to say thank you. I'm very happy. I'm glad finally everyone's recognizing that gingers have been black this entire time. I do identify myself as a black woman, and I'm super excited to carry on the work of the black community. And I do want to say, gingers, like, y'all know, do not say that unless you're one of us. I love y'all.
So, Jesus Christ. You know, I thought we were getting better. We were getting better as a human race. Now gingers are standing up and saying, you know, hey, we're just like black people. No, you're not. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's no different than being fat or being skinny, being too fat or too skinny. It's a body thing. It's a social thing. You have red hair. And, you know, they always say, you know, gingers. Oh, you're not allowed to say ginger. That's like saying the N-word. Is it? Is it really? Oh, you can't say ginger. What if I need to put something in my soup and it calls for ground ginger? I'm not going to say, hey, pass me the ground redhead. What am I supposed to say there? It's in there. Like midget pickles and midget racing. We're not allowed to say midget anymore. I don't know. I'm spiraling here, but there's no way that you are actually, I mean, you are probably standing out a little bit more, but embrace it. Embrace your difference. Embrace it and be thankful that you have what you have. And you are a different person. It makes you stand out a little bit better. Are you better or worse than any other person? No. Either is any race at any given time. When we come back, ChatGPT says that this guy's cheating on his wife by looking at one thing. And that one thing is, well, I'll tell you when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, all the artists, the musical artists that you hear during the breaks are all independent artists. They're showing some love. We're showing them some love, giving them some airtime to express their music. Such creative music, such creative artists, and we want you to enjoy them as well. So if there's an artist out there that you're listening to during the breaks, whether it's this show or any of the other shows that we've been doing over the last 11 years, make sure you show them some love. And right now, we have a special thing over on Spotify. We have music heard on Deacon Live. So since the beginning of 2025, every single artist that we've had here on the show, you can hear the full-length song over on the Spotify account. That's music heard on Deacon Live. Make sure you check them out. They do get a little credit over there, so if you click on their song, they will have Spotify will throw them a couple shekels. And so if you like them, check them out and add them to your Spotify playlist as well. Now, this gentleman right here, let's backtrack a little bit. We live, my wife and I, live on about 22 some odd acres. We are out in the middle. We're just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town called Marshville, population about 2,300 people. There are no street lights in our area. There are, other than our house lights. There is no, foot traffic around us. We're out in the middle of the country. Now, the reason why we're out here is because we do have horses. We have a horse farm and stuff. We have horses on property. We have chickens. We have all the other stuff, goats and cattle, and the occasional possum and stuff like that. But we are out in the country. So when someone knocks on our door, it's one of two things. If it's in the middle of the day, they want eggs, because we sell eggs by the roadside. So they come down the driveway. It's a big, long driveway. They knock on the door and go, eggs? And we go, sí. How many do you want? Cuatro. I'm like, all right, because there's a big Spanish community out here. But it's when it's late at night, like it's around 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and someone's knocking on the front door and it's raining outside, and they're like going, please, I need gasoline for my car. I'm like going, tough shit, lady, get out of here. Type deal. This gentleman right here, an elected official, also basically did the same thing, but took it one step further. The elected official allegedly shot at a lost DoorDash driver who was asking for directions. Now, this happened up in Chester, North Carolina on May 2nd. So this is the ring cam footage of this elected official. I don't know what his name is, but we're going to watch this in real time and see what not to do or not get carried away in doing. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here. So here we go. This is for NBC News. And here he is. The gentleman's wearing the homeowner, the elected official, is wearing the orange shirt and blue shorts, and looks like, I don't know, creepers or something on his feet. So here we go.
Phelan's video reportedly showing the moment an elected official in upstate New York shot a DoorDash driver outside his home. The driver, who has not been publicly named.
So let me explain the video. If you're not watching this on YouTube, shame on you, but let me explain the video. The car is literally probably 200 feet down his driveway. He's got a big, long driveway like we do here. The only lights you can see are the lights from the house lighting up the sidewalk that's in front of his house, and the car's headlights like down his driveway. The first shot that you heard, he fires it into the ground. So let's backtrack a little bit. And
a DoorDash driver outside.
Now that I've set the scene and we can listen to this, watch it unfold.
At his home.
That's in the ground.
Who has not been publicly named was attempting to deliver food to a house in Chester, New York, police say, when he became lost and unable to navigate using the app. They say he approached several homes asking for directions before arriving at the residence, seen here at a nearby address just before the shooting.
With the food in his hand.
By News 12. State police say he then went to the home of New York Highway Superintendent John Riley, who is also a federally licensed firearms dealer. Another video obtained by News 12 reportedly showing the 48-year-old walking out of his house. Police.
And he shoots towards the car as it's backing out of the driveway.
One of the bullets struck the driver in the back.
Oh, geez.
Serious physical injuries. Riley tonight out on bail, but facing felony assault and criminal weapon possession charges, according to state police.
So, let's go back to me now. So, DoorDash driver, probably not from around there, is lost out in the middle of like all these woods and stuff like that. He the the house numbers aren't seen from the road. So physically, if it's not out there by the curbside, and I say curbside and I use that term very loosely, it's a dirt road, or it's a gravel road or something like that. You've seen horror movies like that. There's a lot of horror movies that start that way. And he pulled down the driveway and walked up to the door and said, hey, I'm looking. And he had the bag of food in his hand, and he's got his phone. And it looked like a young kid. They blurred out his face. He didn't look like a white guy. Let's put it that way. Let's just call it is what it is. He didn't look like he belonged in that area. But he had his phone. He had a DoorDash order in his hand. He's like, oh, hey, look, I'm looking for 123 Smith Street. What is this? This is 124 Smith Street. All right, well, I'll go back out and try it again. And I don't know if the guy was drunk or his mind got to him. They're going to rob me. They're going to come back and rob me. I've had that situation before myself. If someone knocks on the door late at night, my wife goes, hey, go answer the door. So I'll answer the door, crack the door open. What do you want? Please, mister, please. My son is in the car. No. Sorry, you got to go. Bye. Shut the door. And then I go, babe, lock all the doors. And then hit recording on all the cameras. But I do, because this is not and I hate to say it, man, it's so hypocritical of me to not help this person out, but you don't know. You've seen so many videos, and of course on TikTok videos, this is a prime example. The kid's backing out of the driveway trying to get away, and the guy actually he's shooting at the car, 2 more times at the car, and I guess hit the kid in the back. But Jesus Christ, let's take it down a notch, people. Take it down a notch. Now, speaking of taking it down a notch, this woman right here, a Greek woman, has allegedly ended her 12-year marriage after ChatGPT accuses her husband of cheating based purely on its interpretation of grounds in his coffee. So, I guess over in Greek, there's coffee grounds at the bottom of the cup. I've heard of tea leaves. I've heard of that. I've heard of grounds in a song, grounds in my coffee. But here in America, we have the automatic coffee makers. There's no grounds in the bottom of my coffee. Some sneak through. But right now, the dumbfounded husband appears on the morning talk show to promo, is the name of the show, to recount how this seemingly harmless social media trend has turned into his impending divorce, claiming ChatGPT harmed his marriage by depicting him as an adulterer, according to the Greek City Times. Following the growing trend of, tascography, also known as coffee ground readings, his wife photographed the residues in their coffee cups and asked ChatGPT to analyze them. What could possibly go wrong, she says. The digital fortune-telling future session that ends a marriage based on the unfounded claims. That's exactly what happened. The chatbot revealed that the woman's husband was daydreaming about another woman whose name began with the letter E, according to ChatGPT's interpretation. This unknown woman was actively trying to destroy their family. Fueling these accusations, the wife filed for divorce without informing her spouse. No, that's common. That's the best thing to do. Oh, ChatGPT says you're doing something? I'm gonna go ahead and not talk it out with anyone and just go ahead and file for divorce. He says, I laughed it off as nonsense, the husband shared during an interview, but she didn't. She told me to leave, informed our kids about the divorce, and the next thing I knew, I was getting a call from a lawyer. The man's counsel promised to contest the divorce, arguing that AI claims lack of legit merit. Despite this, the wife's determination seems unwavering, leaving the husband trapped in the turmoil of the marriage, ruined by coffee grounds and an overzealous chatbot. So where is the video? Please tell me there's a video. There's no video. Fuck it. The mother, too, began experiencing excruciating stomach pains, losing... What the fuck is this? What am I reading now? No. However, aside of the shortcomings of the marriage counseling, ChatGPT has also proven in other situations a North Carolina mother desperate to learn why she couldn't bend her fingers turned to the AI app for help, leading to a shocking cancer diagnosis. All right. And then it goes on and on how the AI is not 100% correct. But here's the thing. So was it the coffee grounds? Really? Honestly, was it? maybe she had a plan. Maybe they always say in movies when the guy accuses the wife cheating on, you're cheating on me, you're cheating on me, you're cheating on me. Normally she's not, because he's the one that's cheating on her type deal. You understand? You've seen that movie trope all the time. Maybe she goes, I know I've been going to the gym a lot lately, and I've been seeing Brandon at the gym, and he's so cute and so beautiful. And here I'm sitting here drinking coffee with my husband. Oh, God, I wish he'd go away. Let's see what ChatGPT says about his coffee grounds. She takes a picture, puts it in there. ChatGPT goes, he is cheating with a girl with someone named starting with the letter E. Really? That's it. That's all I need. Hello, Mr. Attorney? Yes, it's Deborah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I found out. I'm covering my face here. Come on, people. To be so shallow to do that? Oh, there's something else going on behind the scenes. You're just putting the blame on a computer thing that just happened to fit in your narrative. Now, when we come back, do you know what divine protection is? I think I have it. I do. And there's a lot of people out there that can relate to me having divine protection. So stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for every podcast, we do have a matching video over on YouTube. Just search Deacon Live Podcast. Deacon Live, all one word. If you search Deacon Space Live, I think there's a musical artist out there. I mean, not that he's bad or anything. It's just I was here first. He was never around back in 2013. So I was here first, and he just happened to have the same name as I do. But so we shortened it up, made it Deacon Live, all one word. But you can find us over on YouTube. Give us a subscribe over there. You can catch all the whole length video, the whole length podcast in its entirety, and see all the different elements, the visual elements that are found here on the show. And also make sure you follow us on Facebook, and I'll post some of these stories up there. For those of you that are listening to the podcast and you want to see the visual elements on there on your Facebook feed, those will pop up and you can share them with all your friends. Look what I know. Makes you a little bit smarter, right? Don't get cocky. Now, you ready for this? I have never broken a bone in my life. There are some people out there that have done this exact same thing. There was a movie with Bruce Willis before he got mentally challenged. He just celebrated his 70th birthday, by the way. And I say mentally challenged. He's got, I forget what it's called. It starts with an A. Someone out there will tell us. But where he can only remember so much at a certain length of time, and then he's got to sit down and do something. But he just turned 70, so happy birthday, Bruce Willis. But they made a movie called Unbreakable. And basically what it was is Bruce Willis, I'm not giving anything away. It came out 20 years ago. So if you haven't seen it, get with the times, people. Basically, Bruce Willis has, the theme is he's never really gotten sick in his life, never broken a bone, just for his size, had like unrecognized strength. He was like, what is this? And then on the opposite side of that was Mr. Glass, who plays by Samuel L. Jackson, motherfucker. And no matter what happens to him, he breaks. He's got some brittle bone disease, so they call him Mr. Glass. And then, of course, Bruce Willis is unbreakable, so yin and yang and power and all that stuff. So anyways, I always thought that when that movie came out, I'm like going, you know what? I've never been really sick, like sick in my life. I've never broken a bone or anything like that. And I'm like, well, why is this? Maybe I am a superhero. Maybe I am a superhero and I don't know it. Then my wife goes, sit down, dummy. You're not a superhero. And she knocks me down a peg or two. That's why I keep her around. But right now, what scientists say about people who have never broken a bone is a weird theory that goes viral. Is it divine protection or something else entirely? There are a number of scientific reasons that could explain why you've never broken a bone in this bizarre divine protection theory that has gone viral now. For most people, part of growing up involves falling off the monkey bars in the playground, slipping while walking down the stairs, or bashing your ankle while swinging a scooter around, which ends up to a trip to the hospital and a broken bone or two. For the especially unlucky ones, this freak accident in adulthood leads to several weeks of plaster casts on crutches. But what about those who have never broken a bone? Well, if you were asked the spiritualists among us, never broken a bone is supposedly the gift of divine protection, or a sign that we're reaching the end of our reincarnation cycle. All right, that's kind of interesting. Which for some of us who has yet to break a bone, unless fracture after stubbing your pinky toe counts, and it doesn't, is a pretty comforting thought. However, for the scientific mind, arguments that good karma and benevolent spirits guide us aren't likely to cut it. I guess they don't believe in that. So here's a list of medical reasons why you've been lucky enough to avoid spending 6 weeks in a plaster cast. Genetic and bone-related diseases. Like most things, genetics may very well play a factor in the reason why you haven't snapped your ankle or fractured your wrist. Your genetics play a factor in strength of your bones, which some people develop genetically, or genetic mutations which allow them to have super dense bones. That's me. I've got super dense bones. Meanwhile, those family members with developing bone health conditions such as osteoporosis will find themselves at a greater risk of having a lower bone density. Researchers suggest that the certain hormone-related disorders such as overactive thyroid gland or decreased levels of estrogen, OS, am I saying that right? Estrogen? I guess so. It sounds like ostrich to me. I guess estrogen, if you drop the O. Estrogen or testosterone can lead to weaker bones. However, your genetic makeup doesn't always determine whether you or not will break your leg, as there are various other factors which are very, very important. So your diet and lifestyle, they will also have a major influence on your health and your bones. According to the guidance from the NHS, eating foods that contain calcium, vitamin D, which helps the body absorb calcium, is crucial for looking after your bones and avoiding crutches. Adults are advised to consume about 700 milligrams of calcium per day, with the mineral being found in the following: dairy foods such as milk and cheese and yogurt. They spell yogurt Y-O-G-H-U-R-T. Is that a way to spell yogurt? That's not the way I spell it. Vegetables such as broccoli, cabbage, and okra, tofu, soybeans, plant milks have added calcium, and nuts. Well, depending on what kind they are. Regular exercise will also increase your bone strength. But it doesn't cancel out the fact of spending your days running, cycling, and playing football would put you in greater chance of picking up an injury, which includes the broken bones. Also, your age. The Royal Osteoporosis Society notes that the bone density begins to decrease in your late 30s onwards and meets up to that means that escaping childhood without a broken bone doesn't mean you're out of the woods entirely. Some people just get really lucky. Factors such as impact of stress on a person overall, the impact of stress and a person's overall mind-body wellness shouldn't be entirely discounted when it comes to analyzing our health. So, genetics, for the most part. genetics. And I'm like, I've never broken a bone. But then you hear about people that get old enough, get older, and if they break their hip, that's it, they're out. See, sorry, Grandma, you're done. Sorry, Grandpa, you broke your leg, you broke your femur, done, donezo. Now my mom has fallen several times in her late 60s, and I'm talking like off of ladders. She has not broken a bone in her body. I don't think my dad has ever broken a bone in his body. So there's the start of my genetics. And my wife, I don't know if her brother or her mom or her dad has. Her dad has broken his foot. I remember he was living here. He broke his fucking goddamn foot. So genetics, yeah. So there you go. Do you have divine intervention? Or was it divine protection? Divine intervention is another thing. Divine intervention is actually this right here. This gentleman right here, have you ever experienced something so strange and perfectly timed that you had to ask yourself, is this just a coincidence? Some people call it fate, but some people in the universe are doing you a solid, while others believe that guardian angels are out there doing their duties just to keep you safe. TikToker Jay at J_Clay belongs to this latter group of people. He believes that a guardian angel has saved him from harm while he was using the bathroom. Just the bathroom, just this one time. So Jay was sitting on the toilet when he suddenly heard a voice saying, "You're done. Get out of here." The voice was clear as day, so he thought someone had walked up behind him in the bathroom at the bathroom door at first and told him this message. He called out to the unseen person, "Hey, get out of here! Occupied!" or something like that. But all he heard in the response was the same voice commanding him to get out. He finished up his business, got up, and walked out into the kitchen. Seconds later, he heard a crash coming from that same bathroom he was just in. When he returned to the bathroom to see what happened, he saw a large metal light fixture had fallen from the ceiling and landed directly on top of the toilet where he had just been sitting a few minutes ago. He says, If I had not gotten out of this bathroom, I would have heard something say, "Get out of this bathroom." All I would have done is it would have fallen on top of me. And I would have been very, very injured, Jay says. Yes, you would have been very, very injured, Jay. Good dialect there. If I didn't get out of the bathroom right away, I would have been very, very injured. Seeing that his video detailing the incident has amassed over 1.4 million views, his story must have resonated with other people. In the comments section, many TikTokers usually shared their own seemingly supernatural experiences. All right, so let's see his video. Oh, God, here he is. All right, hold on there. Jay. My name's Jay. Jay Clay. Jesus, I'm killing myself here. It's a great show. I should listen to it. All right, so we're going to switch over to Jay Clay, and Clay spelled with a K, by the way, and he's going to tell us about his divine intervention. So here we go. Switch over to camera 4 so we can see him. We can all be friends. Let's take him off mute and see what he has to say.
I have no idea how to explain what just happened, but I was, whoo, hold on. So I was just in the restroom, and I was sitting on the toilet. I don't have to tell you what you do when you sit on a toilet. But I'm kidding you not, as clear as I'm speaking to you right now, out of breath, I hear something say, "You're done. Get out of here." And I literally thought someone walked in my front door and I said, "Hello?" So I hear it again, "Get out, you're done." So I got up. It's not like I was there for a very long time. I walked into this kitchen and I hear a crash come from the bathroom. Oh, I'm starting to shake.
Oh, wow, his light fixture fell. On the toilet.
Had I not gotten out of this bathroom when I heard something say, "Get out of this bathroom," all of that would have fallen on top of me and I would have been very, very injured.
Yes, very, very
I'm literally
injured.
Sweating. I'm shaking. That was the most...
Yeah.
I know we talk about Freddie being here, but that was something different. That was like, "Get out now."
Freddie?
And then that happened. I don't know what else to say. That literally just happened right now.
You're out of breath. Switch back to me now. You're out of breath because it took you a while to make up this whole scam. It's a scheme. It's a scam and it's a scheme. 1.4 million views. And he's got Captain America stuff on the wall. So already I'm thinking this story is debatable. All right, when we come back, do you have tattoos? Well, guess what? You're going to die. Well, that's what they sort of say. And this woman comes out of anesthesia and doesn't realize who she actually is. And the funny part is, who's in the car with her? She denies every single one of them. So stick around. We'll dive into that story when we come back. So you're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, all the musical artists that are on this program are all individual artists. They're independent artists. They are not signed to any kind of big record deals or anything like that. So we give them the airtime to show some love and to show their talents, to showcase their talents. And we'd love for you, if you're enjoying some of their songs, if you're enjoying all their songs, which is even better, you can see all their banners located over on prophetradio.com. And we also have a 2025, I don't want to say greatest hits, but it's all the artists that were here in 2025 on all the shows that we've been doing for this year over on Spotify. So just search Music Heard on Deacon Live and you can see their full-length song, and also you can see their actual Spotify tracks. Give them a little click and stuff, and they'll get some credit for it as well. So if you enjoy some of those songs, go over there and find us over on Spotify. Now, I do not have any tattoos. Never really thought about it. I always kid and told like my friends growing up, what do you want to get for a tattoo? And I'm like, well, I want to get like an alien and a shark. And they're like, well, why? And this is so stupid, but this is my mind thought. I go, well, technically a shark rules the ocean and the aliens rule like the sky because we don't know about them. So I want to have those two things on me just in case they take over the world. That was the thing in my mind. That's, in my early 20s and stuff. I want a tattoo of a shark and a tattoo of an alien. Whatever, the classic alien, round head, oval eyes or whatever on my body. So when they take over the world from one side, from sea or by land or by air, I'll be their friends. Everyone just laughed at me. But studies have shown right now, experts are warning that tattoos may increase the risk of developing 2 types of cancer. Great. Thank God I didn't do it. Divine protection, right? Divine protection. More and more people these days seem to be taking a plunge and getting all inked up. Whether it's a simple fine line flash design or an elaborate full body piece, it's clear that permanent inking is something onto your body's skin is getting increasingly common. But that's not to say that it doesn't come without a risk. Apparently, not just infections or bad needle reactions we need to worry about, as experts have now issued warnings that tattoos may increase the risk of developing 2 types of cancer. Now, as we know it, when you get a tattoo and the ink is injected directly into the skin, but this ink doesn't simply stay put in small portions. It can travel through the body and end up in your lymph nodes. Great. Underneath my arms, now I got puffy pits. Things which work to help the body fight off infection and potentially harmful substances. New researchers led by the University of Southern Denmark, or SDU, looked into whether this process could have long-term health implications and found out that when tattoos inks penetrate the skin, it causes a chronic inflammation of the lymph nodes, per the Daily Record. That's the article I'm reading from. The researchers looked at the data of thousands of twins and discovered that people with tattoos were more likely to have skin and lymphoma cancers compared to those without. From skin cancer and lymphoma, increased hazards were found for tattoos larger than the palm of the hand. So if you got one of those small cowboy hats on you, you're fine. You'll live forever. The authors wrote, our studies suggest that increases hazards of lymphoma and skin cancers among tattooed individuals demonstrate through 2 designs, a twin correlated with a base Cowan study. We are concerned that the tattoo ink interjecting with surrounding cells may cause severe consequences. Studies that pinpoint the ecological pathways of the ink, of the tattoo ink, carcinogens are recommended to benefit public health. All right. Doctors don't be interviewed, right? It is a specific factor that may pave the way for increased abnormal cell growth, which can, over time, heighten the risk of cancer. We've seen that ink particles accumulate in the lymph nodes, and we suspect that the body perceives them as a foreign substance. The university added, this may mean that the immune system is constantly trying to respond to the ink, and we do not know yet whether this persistent strain could weaken the function of the lymph nodes or have any other health consequences. Studies in this link challenge because cancer, it takes years and years of development. This means that exposure of the youth may not lead to illness until decades later, making it difficult to measure the direct effects. So what they're saying is, if you get a tattoo, get one of those crappy tattoos when you're like 12 years old, like all 12 years old, and then all of a sudden you get cancer at 60, there's too many variances. What if you smoked? What if you did drugs? What if you did this? Or what if you lived, worked in an asbestos factory and you did all this other stuff? So there's no direct correlation to tattoo inks and getting cancer. Because now if you were to, if you were 50 years old and got ink, and then let's say 10 years later, all of a sudden you got cancer, and you can correlate those two together. But if you're like in your 20s, when you're rebel, man, I'm a rebel, we'll get a tattoo of me, but taller. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then you're 50, 70 years old, and all of a sudden, Mr. Deacon, you've got cancer. How did I get it? Well, I know you've lived in a bubble all your life since you were 22 when you got that, snake and, and when you got that alien and shark tattoo on your back. So we can't rule out anything else. You drank enough coffee and tea leaves and all the kombucha and stuff. You've done well for yourself. The only thing we can pin it on is those two stupid tattoos you have on your back. God damn it. I knew I shouldn't have gotten those. And so there's no correlation on it. So it's just one of those click, read, fear-mongering type articles. Now, this right here, speaking of fear-mongering, different people have different reactions to anesthesia. Some wake up groggy and disoriented, while others experience confusion or even emotional responses. A study published in Anesthesia and Alginas, which I get every week. I need to cancel that, by the way. Found that approximately 1 in 2 per 1,000 patients undergo general anesthesia experience some level of awareness during surgery. Great. The phenomenon known as anesthesia awareness. For Belle Blake, who was recovering from surgery that confused... hold on. This is going to be good. For Belle Blake, who was recovering from surgery, that confusion took a funny and emotional turn when she discovered in real time that she had 4 children. Thankfully, every moment was caught on video and later posted on TikTok on her page. Sure, why not? The video begins. Hold on. The video begins when Blake is on the ride home from the hospital, still groggy from the anesthesia after nasal surgery. Blake started asking questions. Her husband, ready with the camera, as she requested before the procedure, captures a reaction as he reminds her that she has 4 kids. 4 babies! She exclaimed suddenly. Oh my God, I hit the lotto! She continues, and she follows up, are they gorgeous? And it beams at his simple, yeah. Then she adds, you're just like, welcome everyone. All my kids deserve pancakes and breakfast. And all right, so let's see the video before we get a little carried away with this story. So where's the video? It's got to be here. I know it's going to be here because we're talking about it right now. Here it is. Wait for it to load. And don't forget, for every podcast we do have matching video, the full-length video. Full-length podcast can be found over on YouTube as well. Just go over there and give us a like and subscribe, and you can watch this right now as we're talking about it here on the air. So here we go. Switching camera. Oh my God.
Some people shouldn't have kids, but this is how I reacted when
Here she goes. Now, this is her, I guess, after the fact. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 and so we can see it and we can all be friends. And she must have come out of the surgery or out of the anesthesia and sobered up now. She still had the bandages on her nose. And here she goes. Let's hear her story.
I found out that I had kids after coming off anesthesia.
Here she goes.
Got 4 of them.
4 babies?
2 of them are older.
Oh my God, I hit a lot of... We don't have any right now.
Yeah, we did. We have 4.
We have 4 babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they gorgeous?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I am just like, you're welcome, everyone. All my kids deserve pancakes and bacon. And do you think my kids are gonna love me?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They already do.
They love me.
They love you.
And he still loves me.
Mm-hmm.
Does he cuddle with me?
He hugs you.
He hugs you.
She 7?
The 7-year-old, Daphne.
Oh my God, that's a beautiful name.
She's introduced her kids for the first time. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
With you yesterday.
Oh my God, that is so cute. She snuggled with me.
You are high as
Did
fuck.
I pick out her name or did did you pick out her name?
You picked out her name.
Oh my god, so cute. I bet she's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all gorgeous?
Mm-hmm. Dad doesn't care.
4 of them?
4.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got the lottery. I should get a winning scratch-off ticket. Where can you get a scratch-off ticket?
At the store.
Probably at a gas station.
Hello, who are you?
Now she's back at home. She's still under it.
Davina?
Davina is one of the kids'
Is that
name.
her name?
Yeah, that's your baby's name.
That's such a pretty name. Did you pick that out?
You did.
No, you
I
did.
Yeah. Bean, no. Go on.
I'm a good mommy. You have such a pretty name, baby girl.
You are a good mommy. You are a good mommy. But let me switch back to camera 5 here. This could have gone a different way. This could have been like, she had her nose done and she was in, anesthesia and stuff. And she's all, I've got 4 babies. Yep. Fuck. Are they mine? Yep. Fuck. Who are you? I'm your husband. Oh, fuck. Got married? Yeah. How long have we been married? 10 years. Fuck. So, congratulations to her. She found out again the second time around that she's got 4 kids. And they didn't show the kids on there. And she's recovering well. And she didn't say anything to incriminate herself. So there you have it. If you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you follow us over on Facebook. That is DeaconLive, all one word on Facebook. Make sure you follow us over on YouTube. And if you have any questions or anything, you can be heard here on the podcast. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Prophet Radio. Click on Prophet Radio, and your voice can be heard right here during the podcast. And if you want to email me at any time, you can do that as well. Just email me, deacon@prophetradio.com. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon saying goodnight.
Wait, come back. the absolute end.
Écoute-moi. Well, good for her. Good for her. All right, guys, see ya. Take care. Bye.